Hey, it's Aaron, the Metal Theologian, and I have a topic today, which I don't always. A lot of times I just sort of winging it here, right? But today I thought of something. I'm going to talk about 5 records that are not random, but are underrated. So, oh man, first things first. I swear there's nothing special in here. It's just like the normal shit, but you know. There are a few bands that I've kind of noticed over time don't seem to get talked about very much. And so admittedly, these are bands that are underrated in my estimation, which means that I really, really like them a lot, and I don't hear them talked about as much as I feel like they ought to be talked about. In some cases, I haven't heard them talked about at all. And I've tried to stick with things that are underrated, not only currently, but specifically among people who have YouTube channels out like this one. Because, you know, I watch most of the metal channels. I mean, if you're making metal videos, I try to comment. If I don't comment, I'm probably watching regardless. And, you know, we all kind of know each other and shit, so that's the way it is, right? And you know, especially with the passage of time, with us sort of all knowing each other, I feel like there's certain bands that back in the day might have been underrated, like Trouble comes to mind right away, you know? Like back in the 80s, people didn't really talk about them very much. St. Vitus even more so. But I wouldn't say that either of those bands is underrated now, you know what I mean? I could even have made it, like, 88-ish, I could have made a case for Testament being underrated. But to call them underrated now would be ridiculous, you know? So I'm specifically looking at now, you know what I mean? So they may have 1 record, they may have 20 records, but they just don't get talked about like they deserve. And right at the outset, there's one band that I was really tempted to include, and that's Living Death. But not only do I hear them I don't hear them get talked about as much as I think they deserve, but I talk about them pretty much all the time. So I figured I'm not going to make this another fucking Living Death love fest. So I love Living Death. I left them out on purpose. Just fuck it, you know? So, also, another band that would have been a contender, much so that I'm starting the thing off with them, but they never actually made a record. So this is Max Planck. It's kind of a ridiculous name for a band, isn't it? I think they're from Seattle, actually. In fact, I think Eric Bauer might have a story or two about these guys. Anyway, though, they only ever had a demo out in the day. This record came out maybe 5 years ago, something like that, on Buried by Time and Dust, which is a tremendous label. They haven't done a whole lot, but I swear to God, the quality is there, you know? So, yeah, it's an awesome thing. It has a big, thick booklet, which I frankly haven't read, but the record is just tremendous. And look at that cover, man. How can you not want that? So anyway, if this record had come out, well, I was going to say it would be underrated, but it might not be underrated if it had come out. So that's not how good this fucking thing is. It's all like epic and doomy and dirgy and shit. And it's not all quite like this. Some of it's a little bit more partyish. I mean, there's a song called Fucked Up, so, you know, that's not like this. But, man, I love this fucking record. Even I forget about it sometimes, I'll be honest. So anyway, before we get into the big 5, right? This is the small 5, actually. Before we get into the small 5, I was actually at my local Cracker Barrel because my good place here shut down, so I have to scrounge a little bit deeper for this shit. But I found this I found this Caruso's brand dark cream soda, and I don't know what makes it dark cream. Well, it says dark cream Italian style soda. So that's a lot of words around cream and soda. I'm still expecting there's going to be a cream soda, but you know they built my expectations pretty high, so I'm going to give this a shot. Definitely has sugar in it. So I feel it's from the Caruso family. It says Peter Caruso is from Palermo, but I guarantee you this wasn't fucking from Palermo. So in fact, it says it's made in the USA. Man, where is this? I don't see a fucking location on this. The WIT Beverage Company. Oh, yeah. Oh well, fuck it, man. I mean, I don't want to spend the whole time on this. It's funny, like, I feel like I kind of, yeah, oh yeah, 100% real sugar. I kind of like that with the Italian flag. I kind of feel like I've dug myself a hole a little bit with the soda thing because I've gotten a little bit tired of it. I still like soda as much as ever. But, like, when I floated the idea of just sort of, like, leaving the whole, like, soda speak thing aside, it has not gone over well. It's really kind of funny. So what can I say, man? Fucking got appealing to my audience here. And cheers to Grown Man Record Night because it's still their idea, man. I got to give them credit. In fact, one of the other ones I picked up, I actually did once, but I'm going to do it again, but it was the first one that was ever featured on that show. But anyway, let's see how this one is. Yeah, it's really caramely, really vanilla-y. Yeah, this is really tasty, man. It is. Yeah. It's really rich. I like A&W just fine. A&W is like a good evening cream soda, and it's funny because that's sort of like my baseline in a way. Actually, in a way, IBC, I suppose, is really my baseline, you know. But A&W is like easy one that's easy to reach for. If you imagine like that, no, it's really not like that. It's just, there's a depth to it, there's a richness to it. Not really a lot of what I would call complexity. There's not like a whole lot of different sort of hints of things coming through. There's like a really clean, but really rich vanilla flavor. And yeah, man, I would buy Caruso again. Yeah, I assume it's got nothing to do with Enrico, so. There we go, though. Actually, I'm going to move this. I'm afraid I'm going to dump on the record. I don't get very paranoid about setting shit on top of my stereo, but right by the record player, I'm going to be waving my arms around. Alright, so. The very first one, I'm pretty sure I've heard a couple other people talk about, but it's been a long fucking time if so. I actually personally underrated this band until really just within the last few years. My dealer friend in Colombia kind of started talking about how much he was like, hey, you have this record? I was like, yeah. He was like, dude, that record's so fucking good, man. Oh my god. I was like, huh, yeah, I do kind of remember liking it, but I went home and listened to it again. I was like, Jesus, what the fuck was I doing, man? It's so good. And that is Cutty Sark. Now, first of all, that cover's great. Okay, now Cutty Sark, unfortunately, you know, they have their name in common with a brand of rum, you know, which is a little bit not great. I would say that their mustaches make up for it. You know, that's like the Euro metal seal of approval right there, is fucking two fantastic looking mustaches. Not to mention the pants with the vertical stripes. Yes, I remember those. And, yeah, it's funny. This is the first one I ever got. I got this really cheap. I got this in the basement at a place in San Francisco where everything was $5. And, a long time ago now, and I just sort of grabbed it because, you know, even though I didn't like the name, the cover was awesome. I had heard of them, but I'd never heard it. It's just fucking good, man. It's really cool, really European, you know, and it really has that German sort of Euro metal sound. But it's not like thrash, and it's not like really epic metal. It's just really kind of straight ahead power metal, but with better songwriting than, you know, when I think of straight ahead, I tend to think of a band like Saxon or maybe Savage or something like that. And I'd put these guys, I'd say these guys have better songs, you know what I mean? It's less sort of chugga and more sort of like something that sort of draws you in. It's a little bit of a creeper, you know what I mean? It took me a couple listens for it to really reveal itself to me. But it's great stuff, man. Fucking awesome. So, and Cutty Sark, man. So if you don't know Cutty Sark, go fucking check him out. And this is my recommended starting point. In fact, if you're going to listen to one song, I'd recommend Die Tonight, the title track of this one. Fucking so good. Alright, so that's one. The next one I was a little bit on the fence about because these guys have been hyped pretty hard just within the last maybe 8 months or so by Scott Waters. I haven't heard anyone else talking about them though, so in solidarity with Scott, and because this is a fucking fantastic band that doesn't get the love they deserve, I want to talk about Accuser here. This is, I only have 2 of their records. The first one, I just grabbed this one recently, is Who Dominates Who. And, it's awesome. I'd actually throw it on, but I want to throw the next one on. This is more like a thrash thing, and it's thrash heading in the direction of the death stuff, but it's not as heavy as that, like where there's just like balls out brutality in the death shit. This has substitutes for that, like a technicality, you know what I mean? It has like the ferocity of the death shit, but it doesn't have just like the sheer like wall of like sound. Instead it has more sort of like little shit going on in there that you kind of have to listen for. They have a great singer who I think sounds even better on the first record actually, which is the other one I have. I'm fucking spacing the title. The Conviction or something like that. God, I feel like a moron for getting the fucking album title. But it just has like this fucking weird scream that just sounds great, man, all the way through, you know, sort of, you know, one of Udo Dirkschneider's children, I suppose, you know, but... So, yeah, fucking, you got the robot on there, and these have been reissued relatively recently by, I mean, that was kind of the impetus for Scott's videos. No Remorse out of Greece, which is a label that actually you got to pay attention to because they do all sorts of good shit. They do these tiny little quantities, and they barely get any distribution in the U.S. But man, when No Remorse puts something out, I pay attention. I don't necessarily buy every single thing, but I go, oh wait, who the hell is this? Is someone I give a shit about? If not, you know, fine. But if I haven't heard of them, I go listen because those guys have good taste and they do good shit. So, there you go. Alright, now this next one I'm actually a needle drop because I've never heard anyone talk about this band. And this is, well, this is Max Planck in my hand right here. But here we go. We ready for, oh shit, where did I put the fucking inner? There it is. Yeah, like I don't necessarily need to put everything back in the jackets when I'm doing this, but I don't want to just like leave records lying around like it showed. Hey, before I forget, by the way, here's a little public service announcement. Speaking of death metal, this thing just got a reissue, and I'll bet I'm not the only one out there who's been looking for a copy of this that costs less than $100. So I'm very, very fucking happy to be holding in my hand a copy of For Never Laid to Rest by Seance. Great Swedish death record. Put that. Okay, now the next one that's coming up. There's one that you might well pass over just because of the fucking silly ass name. It's a Dutch band. And I'm stalling because I want to put this thing on. See, look, I haven't played this myself in a while. Yeah, if you looked at this fucking thing, man, you'd be skeptical and you'd be right. This is actually the only thing they did as far as I know. It's a 3-track EP. There's a band called Lady with the Lady Killer EP. Hang on. Yeah, there's 3 tracks. Angels of Beware, Lost Child, and Stevie. Hear that organ in there? That's unusual. Listen to that groove, man. It's fucking great. No shit, this is one of my favorite Dutch bands. Kind of has a new wave British heavy metal vibe, but not completely, you know. I mean, you could draw a parallel to White Spirit if you want to go cheap on account of that organ, but I really don't think this sounds very much like White Spirit. Yeah, look at that though, man. It's a fucking great record. I've never heard anyone talk about this. There's a little bit of a cheat, okay, because another of my criteria is I wanted to go for records that weren't all that hard to find, like shit you'd probably come across. Maybe it's not easy to find, but it's not like, you know, $300 rarities or something like that, okay? This is a little bit of a cheat because this one is a genuine rarity, but it's not like a $300 record. This is one that you might come across, and if you do decide to just cough up for it, it's not going to cost you $100, you know what I mean? It's not going to be cheap, but but this is as rare as I went with this whole list, because I want to be reasonable. I want to, like, you know, because you know why? Because it's fucking easy to say, oh, here are 3 or 5 obscure ass private presses that nobody but me has heard of, and say they're underrated. Well, maybe they're not underrated. Maybe just nobody's fucking heard of them, you know. And that's probably to a certain degree true about this band too. Although Frankie Woodhouse had something of a career, you know. But given how often this record turns up, which isn't every day, but it's enough that more people ought to be giving it love than do. Alright, we're going back to Germany. Because it's my video, so you know there's going to be a lot of German shit. In fact, yeah, 3 out of the 5 are German. I'll just fucking give that up. Well, 2 already have been, so the third one is, or the third German one, the 4th band I'm going to talk about is Darkness. And these records just got reissued on High Roller not too long ago. This is the 2nd one, Defenders of Justice. And I really know what the story is of this label. It's distributed by, you know, Gamma So I guess they did distribution. But Tales of Thrash is the label, and that's kind of a nothing label, you know? These guys, though, just have a really clean, like, I don't know, man. It's like, you know what this band is? When you think of speed metal, this is what you're thinking of, whether you realize it or not. Especially if you're thinking Euro speed metal. But they're not as German sounding as like Living Death, say, or even Destruction, you know what I mean? They're more like, they're German enough to scratch the itch when I've got it, but fundamentally they just have that like pure speed sound that's just a thing of beauty. So this is their second record. Their first record, I actually have a test pressing of it. Didn't have a cover, so yeah, it's not much to show off. So the second one, but they're both fantastic. Printed at Palace there. But it doesn't have the name on there. In fact, this is kind of cool. This is all the information that it has. Darkness. See that? Handwriting. Someone who's obviously not American. Yeah. This is Death Squad, I'm pretty sure is the title of the album. Just great shit though, man. And it's another one that I'll be honest, I underrated for a long time. I kind of grabbed this at the same time as a lot of other things. And it really kind of took me a while to realize just how fucking awesome it was. But I found myself reaching for it over and over, you know? So eventually I got the second one. Alright, this last one I'm going to needle drop too here, actually. Because this one, I don't know why nobody else talks about this band. Because this is one of the fucking most interesting bands I've ever heard, okay? And it's funny because these guys are probably weird more than they're good. But I do think they're good, first of all. And second of all, they're weird in a way that just keeps me coming back to them, okay? And that is Deliverance. Yeah, actually I only pulled out the second one. I should pull out the first one too, because I've shown it before, but it's been a long time. So this is, I would think that the Doom fanatics would be all over this for like proto-Doom shit. It's not Doom though, like St. Vitus, or like, you know, even Trouble or something like that. I'm going to bump to the second track and skip the intro, so this may sound a little sloppy. Yeah, it has all that weird synth shit. So let me show this cover again. Now, one thing is, I'm pretty sure this band was fake. There are 3 records, but I don't know that there was actually a band that was a real band called Deliverance, as opposed to a few studio guys who were like sort of trying to cash in on the whole like metal trend. Look at this background of the metal. Is that even coming through on the thing with that weird like fucking shrunken head? And look at this. I mean, this cover is so weird. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you just look at it, it just gets weirder and weirder. So, yeah, it looks like the main guy behind this was someone named Sin. That's all it says. This, by the way, is not the same band as the Christian band Deliverance, the thrash band. These guys are from Britain. And like I said, I don't know anything about them. I've heard rumors that they're fake. Let me grab the other one. Listen how weird this is, man. Yeah, this is the first one, man. Devil's Meat. Look at that. I remember seeing this in stores, man. It fucking freaked me out when this came out. I remember it got 1 point in Metal Hammer magazine out of 7, and the guy just like went on this tirade about how, you know, this was bad for metal's image and shit like that. The record sucked and everything else. And I think he just didn't get it, man, because this shit is awesome. Listen to that, like, menacing, like, sound, that just like sort of wall of sound. And like that, I mean, it sounds like a drum machine, frankly, but just like the rattling of the drum machine in there. In the back, looks like it's just a fucking picture and turned it upside down if I can get their thing. But like, if you look at the text, it's all bitmapped and shit too. Just to like put it over the top with sort of the, I don't know, the cheesiness, you know what I mean? For every copy sold, another soul is bought. So yeah. Sleeve conception and direction by the Satan Brothers. So, and the model's credited too. I love it. So yeah, they went from this fucking cover to this fucking ridiculous cover. And then the third album, which came out in 1990, which I have a copy of on the way, but it's not here now. That one's different again. So I'm not going to talk about that one though, because I don't have it, haven't digested it. Weird band though, and I don't know why no one else talks about these guys, but they're fucking awesome, man. And I'll bet some of y'all have this shit sitting around your collection. Not just Deliverance, but some Darkness, or maybe even Max Planck, you know what I mean? So, hope you found something that you like. If not, well, maybe next time. But if you're looking for Van Halen clones, you'll never find anything like on my channel, because they fucking suck. I don't care what anyone says, man. Fuck Van Halen. Oh, I saw a video the other day where, like, they did some reunion thing, and David Lee Roth was, like, swinging the fucking, like, mic, you know, the rod around, and he whacked himself in the nose and, like, kept going and shit. And, like, he was bleeding, like, wiping his nose and shit, but he was singing. I was like, you know, that's professional, man. I gotta admire that, you know. But I hate his fucking singing, so what can I say? And I think I'd hate him if I met him too, but maybe not, you know, who knows. Anyway, thanks for watching. So evil. Alright, man, take care. Till next time.